right, back at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia. Number 18, Tennessee, trying to get things done, taking on South Carolina in a pivotal and critical game for both these teams. Gamecocks on the return. This is A.J. Turner, and Turner met at the 19-yard line, or it'll be first down and 10. Mark Jones, he's Rod Gilmore. Quint Kesselnick down on the field, folks. Last Saturday in October, Tennessee with a tremendous opportunity after the last 4 arduous games on their schedule, Rod.
Well, they had a rough stretch they went through. The only FBS team to go through 4 consecutive weeks of playing ranked teams. They came out of it 2-2. A little banged up, but they're getting healthier. Now they have what is perceived as the easier part of the schedule, and they're in position to win the East if they take care of business, but it may not be that easy.
Outside, kicking team number 8, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Tennessee coming off a bye week after losing to Alabama a couple of Saturdays ago. And Butch Jones says he just wants his team to get back to playing passionate football again.
Well, the bye came at a good time. A couple of physical weeks with Texas A&M and Alabama. They are still down some players, but now is the time for Tennessee to make that stretch run. You know, the high expectations coming into this season, they still have an opportunity to win the East and get themselves perhaps a rematch with Alabama.
Meanwhile, Will Muschamp has started the season with Perry Orth, gone to Brandon McElwain, and now he settles on Jake Bentley, a new true freshman quarterback, Rob.
Well, it's not often you find a head coach pulling the red shirt off a true freshman this late in the season, but the offense has been struggling for South Carolina. Bentley is clearly the best passing quarterback on the roster, and they'll give that a look out tonight.
He just kicked over again after the offside against Tennessee, and Turner going to bring it out again. This time Turner makes it out over the 25 to the 27-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for Jake Bentley. You know, folks, last year at this time, he was a junior in high school. Playing a homecoming game at Opelika High School in Alabama. He passed on his senior year of high school to graduate early and come here to South Carolina to play quarterback.
Had a good week last year against UMass, 17 of 26, a couple of touchdown passes, but that was UMass. It's not an SEC defense.
A definitive step up in competition here tonight. Dowdle in the backfield on first and 10. He takes the ball in the handoff. A nice gain of about 7 for him. Stopped up by Golden.
You know, Jonesy, we watched every throw that Bentley made last week. They were very conservative with him early on. A lot of screen passes, 3-step. But he throws a very nice deep ball. He can throw the fade, throw the go route. Has a very strong arm, but has good touch.
Son of a coach. Also on staff here at South Carolina. Second down and 3. Dowdle, with a great second effort, picks up the first down, but there's a flag down on the play. There was a missed tackle, too, by Corey Vereen. Had an opportunity to stop him short of the first down. Here's the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 39, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, there you see it right there. That's Kendall Vickers, 39. He used his left paw to grab that face mask. Now, going back to Bentley, it's not only that they pulled his red shirt. You know, you have 5 years to play for, and he was one of those guys that was expected to sit out this year. And then 2 weeks ago, he started getting the message that they actually wanted him to play this year instead of sitting out.
He was impressive last week, as you mentioned, against UMass. A couple of touchdown passes. Carolina 3-4 overall, and he's back to pass under heat. Dangerous throw into traffic. Intended for Brian Edwards and knocked down by Emmanuel Mosley.
You know, Bentley's story is an interesting one because his dad is, as you mentioned, a running back coach here at South Carolina. He was also a coach at Auburn. He's good friends with Gus Malzahn, and Malzahn offered a scholarship to his son Bentley while he was there. And when Will Muschamp got the job at South Carolina, he brought Bentley, the coach, over with him, and he also offered a scholarship to the younger Bentley.
Those long-term relationships pay off. Dowdle stopped at about the 43-yard line by Evan Berry coming up from his safety spot. 4-yard gain on the play. South Carolina going quickly here.
And Bentley was originally scheduled to be in next year's recruiting class for South Carolina. But after committing, he and his dad decided it was a good idea for him to be eligible this year. So they advanced him into the 2016 class along with McElwain, who's the other quarterback at South Carolina.
A young man that took unofficial visits to Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, and Auburn, amongst other SEC schools. Nice move. Flag down, Bentley down at the 39-yard line. Plays with a lot of enthusiasm, as you'd expect from a true freshman. Buchanan making the stop on the play for Tennessee. But Bentley much better in the passing game.
Offside. Number 9 defense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's against Derek Barnett, a guy that South Carolina is going to really have to keep an eye on here today, right, Rod? You got to scout that guy.
The moment Barnett gets off the bus, everybody knows where he is and who he is, because he wreaks havoc on a lot of quarterbacks and has done so the last couple years.
Third down and 1. McElwain in at quarterback. They change it up, and McElwain, the running part of that component, stopped up shy of the first down by Shy Tuttle. So there you'll see Brandon McElwain come in the red zone and other short yardage running opportunities at the position. He comes back out, Bentley back in.
Well, here you see Muschamp being really aggressive. 4th down, and you're sort of in no man's land here. Not sure you want to punt down here, but he wants to take a chance, and he's been preaching all week, win now. He's not trying to put it off until next year. He thinks his team can get to the bowl game.
4th and 2 opening drive. They're going for it. On 4th down, Bentley, wide open field. 1st down and then some. There was a missed tackle on Tuttle, allowing for the 16-yard gain.
The half roll allowed the pressure from Barnett to go by Bentley, and he just knew the left side was back open and went over there and picked it up. This is a nice little 4th down play, keeps the drive going, and here's your challenge. You're almost in the red zone. You know you're going to get pressure from Barnett off one edge. Can they block it?
Bentley working out of the shotgun. So the pressure off the edge, goes downfield. What a catch by Deebo Samuel. 1st and goal. He got in behind Buchanan and a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's a matchup we'll keep an eye on. Buchanan's the freshman. He's in there for Malik Foreman, and Deebo Samuel's
Pass interference. Defense number 28. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
Deebo got matched up in man coverage and managed to come up with that. Got that elbow and arm underneath it. I don't think that ball ever hit the ground. I think that's a good catch.
Tremendous effort by Samuel, the sophomore.
But you see what I mean when I talk about Bentley and his ability to throw the deep ball, the touch he has on it?
Something they haven't seen this year before he got the starting nod.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
Replay official going to look at this catch by Deebo Samuel, their top receiver from a season ago. Had a big week last week against UMass. Watch this, folks.
Yeah, watch the left arm. Is it underneath the ball? Now, it looks like he's losing it there, but does he get his arm underneath the ball? From that angle, you can't tell, but you can see at the end, arm is between the ground and the ball.
It sure looked like that forearm area.
Yeah, you see,
it.
he's losing it, but you can't definitively see the ball hit the ground from that angle. Now remember, you need clear evidence to overturn the call on the field.
Yeah.
And I don't see any view yet that shows you the ball hitting the ground.
What a play by Samuel.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. To me, that's good, and you confirm it, but it might be a little conservative and say they don't have enough to overturn it. Either way, I think that's a South Carolina first down right there.
Buchanan, number 28 for Tennessee, getting the start at corner.
That's the angle.
Yeah.
That's the angle. Yeah, that ball did not hit the ground.
He had his forearm underneath it, and here's the call.
After review, the call on the field stands. First down at the 2-yard line.
I mean, Buchanan was holding Samuel like a grudge that time. I mean, he was all over him, and still made the catch.
At that point, you take the penalty. At that point, you don't let him catch it. You grab him, you knock him down. You don't let him catch it if you're gonna harass him that much.
First and goal, an impressive opening drive for the true freshman at quarterback, Jake Bentley, making his first SEC start. Dowdle. Ball came loose into the arms of the Vols. Was he down, though? Looks like the officials are saying he was down.
Well, there was one official in the end zone saying that he was down.
And they're going to try and play quick here. Bentley snaps it, hands it off to Dowdle. Hangs on for the touchdown. Early fireworks here in Columbia, South Carolina. And the Gamecocks take the lead 7-0. Third rushing touchdown this season for Dowdle.
Well, Jake Bentley saved this drive with a 4th and 2 scramble to pick up the first down. That kept the drive alive, and South Carolina did not fail. They cashed in with Dowdle with a touchdown, and Gamecocks up 7-0.
Williams-Brice is electric tonight, folks, under the lights. The Volunteers in an early hole here, because the Gamecocks came out behind a true freshman quarterback, Jake Bentley, and marched the ball down the field. 8 runs, 2 passes, and a key 4th down conversion by number 4 right there on your screen. And they punched it in the end zone.
Hey, this is a serious environment, and if Tennessee wasn't thinking it was going to be tough, it is clear to them now it will be.
Evan Berry is back deep. He's an All-American on kickoff returns last year. He won't get a chance here. And it'll be first down and 10 for quarterback Josh Dobbs of the Vols.
He is a tremendous story, and he is a tremendous quarterback that has been overlooked at times. He's really good in this empty formation. He gets the ability to see the field, gets the quick passes out right away, and is very good at that. And just when you get caught up in that, he kills you with his rushing attack. Here you watch him get right in behind the tight end, sees the open side to the left, and has that vision to make it happen. So he can hurt you with those quick passes and can really hurt you with his legs.
He's had a week to recalibrate himself and get right. And he completes his first pass to Josh Malone, their leading receiver yardage-wise coming into the ball game. Stopped by Marcus King, an 8-yard gain. Second down and about 2 for the Volunteers. Dobbs was 16 of 27 against Alabama a couple of weeks ago. 92 yards. Completes his second pass in a row, complete to Josh Smith. And that's right at the first down marker. Let's take a look at our impact players brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, when you start with Tennessee, Jalen Hurd, big year last year, banged up this year. Need a big night from him because Kamara is out tonight. Barnett, really strong pass rusher. Debo has already made his presence known, and English is a strong pass rusher for South Carolina.
Third down and short. Dobbs hands it off to Hurd, and Hurd picks up the first down. Gain of 5 on the play. Jalen Hurd, a big, bruising, strong back.
Yeah, and they do need quite a bit from him tonight. Alvin Kamara, their explosive running back, is out tonight. He's a home run hitter. He's a guy that's effective in the passing game, but Hurd can catch it too. He's just not as explosive as Kamara.
First down and 10. Little jet sweep to Tyler Bird, and brought down for a 1-yard gain on the play. Flag down as well. Tackle made by T.J. Holloman. And we have an injured player on the field at the 35 for the Gamecocks. And Bird kind of favoring his arm as well as he leaves the field.
Illegal block in the black. Number 3 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
I see you've had a friend join you in the gym lately.
Well, I'm not as swole as our guy right there.
Mr. Carter,
he works out.
Mr. Carter doesn't miss any workouts.
No. Let's take one more look at number 21, Wilder, Antoine Wilder.
That might have been the penalty. Yeah, that's Antoine Wilder who got caught up.
It's a first down and 20 back at the 29-yard line after that last play.
He is their starting nickel back, so that injury hurts South Carolina in their secondary.
Gamecocks a very young team. John Kelly now in a tailback for Tennessee. Number 4. Dobbs sets up the screen. And Kelly got those jets going, got the first, close to the first down anyway. Got back a lot of that yardage, picked up close to 17 yards on the play.
Well, he gives them a little bit more of that quickness and explosiveness that they lose with Kamara out. And typically what you get from Tennessee is once they start with those quick passes, then they try to get Dobbs back into the rushing attack.
Hands it off to Kelly. And Kelly picks up the first down as we go downstairs to Quint Kessner.
Slow starts have been an issue for Tennessee this season. Their first quarter scoring differential, one of the worst in the country. They've come out today defensively. They're a little flat here, but the offense is humming. I asked Butch Jones if he remedied it, anything he's done. All he said he's done is added a fast start period to practice. But in many ways, this team right now on this bench looks a little bit like they've been ambushed, Jonesy.
Interesting. High snap. Dobbs wise to just fall on the loose ball. And they'll lose a bunch on that one. Dante Sawyer back there to make sure Dobbs went to the ground. Loss of 16 on this ride.
Yeah, bad snap, and not much Dobbs could do about it except fall on it and come back to play the next down. What this does to their offense is put them in a tough position. They are not as comfortable in the drop-back passing game, so you'd expect to see some kind of a screen or draw here and not an attempt to try and throw it down the field.
Dobbs keeps it. Very proficient runner, stopped up by Allen Williams. Picked up 6 on the play. If you listen to people around Tennessee and the coaching staff in particular, he's an improved passer this year, especially with the deep ball. And on 3rd and 20, Rod, maybe Maybe not?
I really don't think so. They're not that comfortable. This formation tends to be their quick passing game and also Dobbs taking off. So I think it's more of a quick pass for them and not to risk the ball down the field.
First charge timeout, South Carolina.
Gamecocks are going to call timeout. We'll take one with them. 3rd and long when we come back for the Vols.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Cadillac and Pennzoil Synthetics. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today.
The pyrotechnics began early here in Columbia, South Carolina. Gamecocks leading 7-0. 3rd and long coming up for Josh Dobbs in Tennessee.
Here's a guy that can put a lot of pressure on Dobbs right there.
Dobbs complete, well, incomplete drop, frankly, by Tyler Bird in and out of his arms. 4th down coming up. And Trevor Daniel will come in to punt for Tennessee.
What is it about black uniforms that gets players fired up?
It's something, isn't it?
As we came in, a lot of South Carolina folks were yelling, they're wearing black uniforms.
Yep.
They're wearing black tonight.
That's the hot color. Chris Lamont's back deep. Standing at his own 18-yard line for South Carolina. Daniel with a very healthy 43.8-yard average this year. They came after him a little bit. Lamont watches it bounce, and a great roll for the Volunteers all the way down to the 6-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Bentley as we take a look back at our Polaris drive recap, that last touchdown.
Well, if you missed it, you missed a great start for Bentley and company. The freshman quarterback on a 4th and 2 kept a drive alive with his feet, not his golden right arm, and that was a huge play. He comes right back and shows you his touch with Deebo Samuel with a one-handed catch, and then Dowdle, watch the hole that gets created by the left guard and the center, and he just kind of steps into the end zone. 7-0 South Carolina.
If you're just joining us, Jake Bentley, last year at this time, was a junior. That's right, a junior in high school. Playing in a homecoming week game in Opelika, Alabama. Decided to reclassify and come to Columbia early here and play QB. Getting his first start in SEC play. Played last week against UMass and put up some good numbers. He was 17 of 26, a couple of touchdowns in that victory.
You know, he's actually older than his other colleague, Brandon McElwain, the other freshman quarterback. I think that means he redshirted as a kindergartner.
They do that sometimes.
You didn't hold yours back, did you?
No. No.
Yeah, right.
No, I was. They had to blow up the classroom to get me out of the 3rd grade. 2nd down and 7. Dowdle again. He ran the ball very effectively on that first drive. Another true freshman, Rico Dowdle, picked up 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Approaching 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. South Carolina 1-4 in conference play. And right now we get a look at Brandon McElwain coming in at quarterback for South Carolina.
Yeah, he is the designated running quarterback, and you can be certain that Mr. Barnett, number 9, we just saw his face, will be focused on McElwain.
McElwain looking to throw it. And had a man, his tight end Hurst, Hayden Hurst, saw it bounce at his feet. And he was open. We saw McElwain in week 1 play against Vanderbilt and did a nice job as a true freshman.
His story is also a fascinating one with the rise of Bentley the last couple of weeks. McElwain was a huge recruit and a fantastic baseball player who turned down what we understand was about a 7-figure Major League Baseball contract, a bonus, to come here.
Josh Smith watches it bounce. And the Volunteers will have good field position here on their 2nd drive of the ball game. With about 5.5 minutes to go, Josh Dobbs, the aerospace engineering major looking to take flight when we come back. We had a chance to catch up with quarterback Josh Dobbs, and you ever wonder what an aerospace engineer quarterback travels with in his backpack? Take a look.
What's up, I'm Joshua Dobbs, and here's what's in my bag. First, got my Good Luck Starburst. Don't go anywhere without them. Got my iPads, one for film, one for movies. I got my book, got a test coming up on Monday. So fundamentals astrodynamics, gotta get ready for my test. I got my school notebooks, review my notes. I got my football notebook to go over plays and film and get ready for the game tomorrow. And that's what's in my bag.
2 iPads.
Yeah.
And astrodynamics.
Yeah.
I was out after that.
Look, you know, when he's done with college football will miss him.
Yeah.
He's as close to a poster child for this game as you can get.
Everything that's good about the game. Tremendous student athlete in the true sense. Back to pass here. Through the hands of his tight end, Ethan Wolf. Broken up by Chaz Elder.
You mentioned Dobbs as a student athlete, a great player, and a guy who's a great student, but beyond that, the guy who is thoughtful and takes care of other people. I mean, there are 2 or 3 guys in college football that come to mind, like Travis Rudolph and Christian McCaffrey, who give to their community, and college football needs more guys like that, like Joshua Dobbs.
Incredibly selfless guys. Great point, Rob. 3rd and 6 coming up. Dobbs making a play with his legs, and then some. He's not going to stop. Flag thrown. Dobbs scores. Let's see if it stands. There's a flag back at the 18. And another one thrown in the end zone. Chris Lamons went at the head of Juwan Jennings there in the end zone at the end of the play. That 49-yard touchdown run by Josh Dobbs, if it stands.
So Jonesy, South Carolina ran a blitz. It got picked up. That might be the last blitz that they run tonight after this play by Dobbs.
Great speed. Chris Moody, the safety, couldn't catch him.
No, he
couldn't catch him.
No, he just juked him. But the real impact was right up front where they ran a blitz. Dobbs saw it and just moved away from it, and then there was nobody at the second level, and he showed you his vision and his speed that we talked about at the top of the show.
The officials taking a while to sort out the various penalties. There's a flag at the 18, and there was another one thrown late, which you would almost have to say was a personal foul.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both by each team. 1 by each team. Holding during the run, offense number 3. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 3 of the defense. Number 3 has disqualified himself.
So Chris Lamons is out of the game. Let's take a look at the hold first, though.
Yeah, well, and it really wasn't necessary. Take a look down here. That's where your hold is going to happen. Watch here, and you know, you really don't need this. I mean, Dobbs is on his way. He's going, there's no reason to have the hold go on right there, but there it is. And then in the end zone, there's this going on. You got Jennings hooked up with Lamons, and they are throwing hands. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, Lamons connecting to the body, then working to the head, and he's going to go to the locker room for the rest of the night. He's done.
Yeah.
DQ'd.
You know, and there's just no place on the field for throwing punches. I mean, you have to know the moment. You have to know the moment you start that, you're done.
Out-of-pocket cost. So call the Addiction Network now. Call 800-824-4976.
We had a chance to catch up with quarterback Josh Dobbs, and you ever wonder what an aerospace engineer quarterback travels with in his backpack? Take a look.
What's up? I'm Joshua Dobbs, and here's what's in my bag. First, got my good luck Starburst. Don't go anywhere without them. Got my iPads, one for film, one for movies. I got my book. Got a test coming up on Monday, so fundamentals astronauts. Astrodynamics. Got to get ready for my test. I got my school notebooks, review my notes. I got my football notebook to go over plays and film and get ready for the game tomorrow. And that's what's in my bag.
2 iPads.
Yeah.
And Astrodynamics.
Yeah.
I was out after that.
Look, you know, when he's done with college football will miss him.
Yeah.
He's as close to a poster child for this game as you can get.
Everything that's good about the game. Tremendous student athlete in the true sense. Back to pass here. Through the hands of his tight end, Ethan Wolf. Broken up by Chaz Elder.
You mentioned Dobbs as a student athlete, a great player, and a guy who's a great student, but beyond that, the guy who is thoughtful and takes care of other people. I mean, there are 2 or 3 guys in college football that come to mind, like Travis Rudolph and Christian McCaffrey, who give to their community, and college football needs more guys like that, like Joshua Dobbs.
Incredibly selfless guys. Great point, Rob. 3rd and 6 coming up. Dobbs making a play with his legs, and then some. He's not going to stop. Flag thrown. Dobbs scores. Let's see if it stands. There's a flag back at the 18. And another one thrown in the end zone. Chris Lamons went at the head of Juwan Jennings there in the end zone at the end of the play. That 49-yard touchdown run by Josh Dobbs, if it stands.
So Jonesy, South Carolina ran a blitz. It got picked up. That might be the last blitz that they run tonight after this play by Dobbs.
Great speed. Chris Moody, the safety, couldn't catch him.
No, he
couldn't catch him.
No, he just juked him. But the real impact was right up front where they ran a blitz. Dobbs saw it and just moved away from it, and then there was nobody at the second level, and he showed you his vision and his speed that we talked about at the top of the show.
The officials taking a while to sort out the various penalties. There's a flag at the 18, and there was another one thrown late, which you would almost have to say was a personal foul.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both by each team. 1 by each team. Holding during the run, offense number 3. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 3 of the defense. Number 3 has disqualified himself.
So Chris Lamons is out of the game. Let's take a look at the hold first, though.
Yeah, well, and it really wasn't necessary. Take a look down here. That's where your hold is going to happen. Watch here, and you know, you really don't need this. I mean, Dobbs is on his way. He's going, there's no reason to have the hold go on right there, but there it is. And then in the end zone, there's this going on. You got Jennings hooked up with Lamons, and they are throwing hands. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, Lamons connecting to the body, then working to the head, and he's going to go to the locker room for the rest of the night. He's done.
Yeah.
DQ'd.
You know, and there's just no place on the field for throwing punches. I mean, you have to know the moment you start that, you're done.
After all that, it's 1st and 10 from the 13. On the reverse, this is Bird. Got a blocker in front of him. Stopped up short of the 5 at about the 6-yard line. I mean, Chris Lamons earned this ejection.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no question about this. So, you know, you got a good block going here. Why do you take the punch? Why are you throwing the punch? You know, Jennings has them, and he's doing a good job on them. That's not justification for punching.
Second and 2. Kelly again, nowhere to go. It's going to be third and just as much.
Now, Jonesy, not a lot of room down here, but if you're a Tennessee fan, I think what you want Dobbs in the empty formation where he can see the field right away, and he has the option to run if he wants.
After that week off, you wonder if they have any new wrinkles in their offense. Dobbs keeps it. Man, it's going to be close. Not sure if he got there for the first down. Rico Jones flexing on him a little and makes the stop. Fourth down coming up. They're short. And now Butch Jones appears to call the field goal unit back. Aaron Medley and the gang were coming onto the field. Looks like they're going to measure now to see if Dobbs got that first down. Okay, decision time.
That's a good spot by the official.
Didn't look like he got there.
And now Butch has changed his mind. He's going to go for it.
4th and 1.
Not a fan. You know, take your 3 points. You're the superior team. Play it like it's 4 quarters. You don't get this. You're giving a lot of energy to a South Carolina team.
They're 2 of 6 on 4th down this year. Jalen Hurd, their big back in, and a lot of movement up front. Flags thrown. Let's see who it's against. Fingers being pointed from both sides. Well, we've had a choppy beginning to this game with all these penalties.
Outside. Defense, number 93. Half the distance. First down.
So the Vols get a free one on the penalty by the South Carolina defense. 1st and goal coming up now from about the 2-yard line.
Well, and this would be Jalen Hurd territory, your big back at 6'2" and 6'3", 225 pounds. He's really your guy down here. How healthy is he?
We find out there. Stopped up short of the end zone. Let's go down to Quinn.
Not only is Hurd big, but Tennessee has a serious height advantage on the outside with Jennings 15 in white and Malone 3 in white for any kind of fades.
Hurd stopped up short. It'll be 3rd and goal, inches away.
I don't think Hurd is 100%. I mean, he ran with more energy last year when he ran for more than 1,100 yards. You know, he's missed a game this year. I think he's a little banged up. You don't see that same drive and explosiveness down here. But, you know, you got to like using him, though. He's still your big guy.
3rd and goal. Gets another chance and pounds it in for the touchdown. Hurd with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season and the 20th of his career. The Vols just roll up their sleeves and play some smash ball. Get the touchdown. Bentley in for the extra point. And we're tied at 7. Last 5 games have historically been close between these two teams.
How about Josh Dobbs bringing Tennessee back in this drive with a big run to set up what would be a tying touchdown? His buddy Jalen Hurd, he's in there. Tie game.
Folks, get your NFL Sunday started on ESPN, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, NFL Insider Sunday edition with all the news and fantasy updates. Then at 11, Sunday NFL Countdown. The whole crew is back. Both shows streaming live on the ESPN app and also on Watch ESPN. Josh Dobbs on that hotline as they run it 8 times, pass it once, and Jalen Hurd punching it into the end zone for the touchdown. I talked about the last 4 meetings between these two teams being very close. They've been decided by a total of 11 points.
That's sort of been the story of Tennessee's season.
Yes.
You know, they went through that gauntlet of the 4 games where they played ranked teams 4 consecutive weeks and came out of it 2-2. But before that, each game was a struggle. It started with Appalachian State.
Yeah, first game of the season, they barely escaped that. Under 2 minutes to go. A.J. Turner back deep. Let's go back to the studio and Chris Hassel. Chris?
All right, we got a Taco Bell studio update. We no longer have an unbeaten team in the Big 12. Texas kicking a go-ahead field goal with under a minute to play. Trent Domingue from 39 yards. Baylor had one last chance on 4th and 2. Final play of the game, no. What a win for Charlie Strong. Baylor out. West Virginia also out from the unbeatens, fellas.
You know, Jonesy, I think that means you don't have a Big 12 team in the college football playoff.
Shut out.
I think they're done now.
And no conference championship game either.
Nope. The schedules are too weak for West Virginia and Baylor to justify a 1-loss Big 12 champ getting in. And if Oklahoma wins it, that's a 2-loss team, and that hasn't happened yet.
Tough to see a scenario where anyone from the Big 12 gets in the college football playoff. That'll be revealed, remember, Tuesday. Bentley taking a shot deep. Intended for Deebo Samuel. Working against Balin Buchanan. And a flag on the play.
Well, they're picking on Buchanan.
True freshman out of Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Peachtree Ridge High School.
Pass interference. Defense number 28. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Now remember, Tennessee has had a number of injuries on the back end. Cameron Sutton is not back from injury. Malik Foreman is out tonight, and Buchanan gets the start. Gets tangled up with Samuel, and Samuel's an experienced player. He's only a sophomore, but he's played an awful lot and knows some tricks of the trade, and used some on Buchanan there.
First down and 10. Up to the 40. And a blitz coming off the edge. He escapes and finds Deebo Samuel for the reception. Boy, this true freshman is pretty poised, Rod. He stood in there and delivered it.
Well, he's feeling a little bit of heat, but he moves his feet well enough to buy time. He's not a great runner, but he buys a little time in the pocket.
Good looking play by Jake Bentley. Picked up 5, 2nd and 5.
Where's that guy? Number 9 up there. That's the guy he's concerned about. Right there. He's the most disruptive force on that Tennessee defense.
Freshman All-American 2 years ago, All-Conference last year. And this time Dowdle slips and falls, setting up 3rd down now for South Carolina. You surprised, Rod, that they're easily not as conservative as they were with Bentley as they were last week, even against UMass, right?
I think he got his sea legs last week against UMass. He threw a bunch of passes, a lot of short ones. They put that on tape. Tennessee saw it, and they knew, look, Tennessee's going to take away the short passes. He's going to make him throw deep, so let's let him throw it.
3rd down and 6.
But can they block Barnett?
Barnett has been conspicuous by his silence so far. Didn't get to Bentley that time. The pass broken up over the middle. Justin Martin, who's in at the corner now, broke it up, intended for Goodger. It's 4th down coming up for the Gamecocks. No, Rod, we talked about Bentley. They took the red shirt off of him. You kind of went through a similar situation at one point at Stanford, right?
Yeah, it's red shirts being pulled. That's always interesting and fascinating.
Josh Smith calls for the fair catch with no time remaining now at the end of the first quarter. We'll tag that conversation during the second quarter of play. Bentley had that red shirt taken off, and my partner can tell you a lot about what that is kind of like. But the Gamecocks struck first before the Vols countered. Tied at 7 when we return. We're going to find out who's in. On Tuesday, you're watching the SEC on ESPN here from Columbia, South Carolina. Gamecocks and Volunteers tied at 7 apiece. Tennessee with a great opportunity moving forward on the back end of their schedule.
Big 12 not in.
Not after that Baylor loss to Texas.
West Virginia losing to Oklahoma State.
1st down and 10 from the 21. Dobbs had a big run on that last scoring drive with a screen here. Complete to Crosby. Check that, that's Malone. Picked up about 7 on the play. 2nd down coming up. Blitz coming. And Dobbs sacked back at the 14-yard line by Jonathan Walton.
Jonathan Walton with the blitz, a little delayed blitz, gets inside of Chance Hall, the right tackle, never got a hand on him. Here's your big negative play. South Carolina trying to make sure they put Tennessee in 3rd and long passing situations. This is where they think they can get takeaways. They want the ball thrown down the middle of the field.
Dobbs into traffic and intercepted by King.
You know, Jonesy, that 3rd and long situations, they want pocket passes. They want Dobbs to have to see openings or try to find openings in the zone. They're dropping 8, and he couldn't find King underneath. He could barely see. You see that? And there's King getting up there, getting it. So the formula, get a negative play, drop 8, and force Dobbs to try and find a hole. He couldn't do it that time.
That was King's 2nd interception of the season. Jake Bentley going to hand it off here to Turner. And Turner picks up 9 on the play. South Carolina trying to capitalize on that interception. Remember, Tennessee is 123rd in the nation in turnovers. On the cutback, it's David Williams, and he gets the 1st down. Some hard running by Williams. 6'1" junior out of Philadelphia.
You know, Jonesy, this is the area of the field where Bentley can make great throws to the corner of the end zone. There's Edwards. He has great ball skills. You get him singled up, he can go up and get it.
6'3". Pretty imposing target up there. He makes the catch and will jog in for the touchdown.
think there are a lot of high school defensive backs that are happy he's at South Carolina, not playing his senior year.
They capitalize on the Dobbs interception and make it 14-7.
Yeah, nothing like points off turnovers. It all began when King came out of nowhere. Dobbs couldn't see him. He gets up and grabs this one. That sets it up nicely for Bentley to come back and find Edwards. Little slant route. He is just wearing out the secondary of Tennessee, the freshman quarterback. He's got a couple already. 14-7.
Welcome back. Saturday night here in Columbia, South Carolina. The Gamecocks are lit right now, leading 14-7. A lot at stake for the Tennessee Volunteers. Second half of the season, a very favorable schedule, but maybe the Gamecocks found out that Tennessee was thinking just that. And they've shown up in a big way here in the first half. Well, Halloween Monday Night Football matchup has Sam Bradford and the 5-1 Vikings taking on Jay Cutler and the Bears at Soldier Field. 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. It all begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN. You don't think that Jake Bentley and Bob Bentley, his dad, share some special moments? Not bad watching your son do that, huh?
Your son just threw a touchdown pass in an SEC game. And you got to coach the running backs. You can afford to take a minute out and enjoy that moment.
A great scene on the sidelines there. First down and 10. Jalen Hurd trying to turn the corner. Brought down right around the 35 by Stephen Montag. Gained 1. Brought down right there at the 25, pardon me.
Well, Tennessee fans will tell you this is not unusual. Volunteers have been behind pretty much all season long. They know this routine. They weather it and deal with it.
Hurd again. No gain on the play as we go down to Quint.
Well, Will Muschamp has made a living on zone pressures. He loves to bring the heat, but with Josh Dobbs, he's got to weigh the scramble factor. Look for Carolina to use a spy here to sit at home right beyond the line of scrimmage and try to track 11 and White.
I think you're right, Q. I think they would use number 4 for that, Alan Williams, but they will also drop. They'll try to get another takeaway here. This is the situation they wanted.
John Kelly in the backfield. Dobbs fires off the mark. Not sure who that was intended to. Ethan Wolf was in the neighborhood, and so was Josh Malone. It was somewhere in between. Either way, it's 4th down coming up for the Volunteers.
Yeah, clearly getting those negative plays on 1st or 2nd down, that leaves Tennessee pretty vulnerable on those 3rd down pocket passes. That's what South Carolina believes they can use to get takeaways, shorten the field, and so far that has worked for them.
Marcus King back at the 33-yard line. That's Deebo Samuel, actually, they're using now back there. South Carolina has a couple of touchdowns on 4 drives. You get the feeling that something special is happening at the quarterback spot here in Columbia.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Lee Jeans. Move your Lee. And Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
Halloween coming up. And the South Carolina Gamecocks came dressed as an upset tonight. Look at some of the artwork with the pumpkins on the Tennessee side of the field. Of course, it's almost a perfect match. The orange, right? The Tennessee orange and pumpkin orange.
And it works so long as you don't get tricked.
Oh.
It sort of feels a little bit like Tennessee's walked into a little bit of an ambush here.
Yes, sir. And there's the orchestrator of it, Jake Bentley at quarterback, a true freshman who graduated a year early from high school. He got taken to school on that pressure and that blitz Barnett making an impact finally. Justin Martin also in on the stop.
Well, if there's anyone who can impact a game and change its direction, it's that man right there, and that's just ridiculous. You cannot afford to have a back try to olay him. You better find a couple guys to get in his way. He will kill your quarterback.
One of the top defenders in the SEC. That's his 7th sack of the season. Lines up to the left of Bentley, and Bentley on the run and brought down again for another loss. Tennessee bringing some heat. Corey Vereen with the stop and a loss of 4 down to Quinn.
Yeah, all of a sudden his body language not as positive as it was. Playing quarterback as a freshman anywhere is difficult. In the SEC, doubly hard. And the nature of the position just makes it ridiculous. Will Muschamp telling us how taxing it is for these young guys to play in this league. You got Eason at Georgia and Hurts at Alabama.
A tough task. 3rd and 21. With a true freshman, Jake Bentley, out of the shotgun. Incomplete and almost intercepted. And it's very quickly 4th down. Todd Kelly there to break it up.
You heard Quint talk about the difficulty of being a freshman quarterback in the SEC. But, you know, Muschamp has a history of playing freshman quarterbacks. He did quite a bit of that at Florida. So as difficult as it may be, he seems to be okay with it. You know, a lot of coaches will not do this, but when he was at Florida, he played 4 of them. And it didn't work out so well. Ultimately, all 4 of those freshman quarterbacks ended up transferring out of Florida. Now, some of them transferred after he left, but still, playing freshman quarterbacks can be a challenge and a problem, so you have to be careful with that.
Bounces all the way at the 45 and kicked back. It might have been kicked by a Tennessee player. So Josh Smith pounces on it as we go back to Chris in the studio.
All right, we got a studio update. Let's go over to the SEC Network. Auburn, Ole Miss, and the Tigers are going to take a 1-point lead after the extra point. Kerryon Johnson, straight up the middle. How about Boise State and Wyoming? The Broncos still unbeaten. Jacob Hollister, though, and Wyoming sticking in it. 21-17, late second, Mark.
All right, back here, 14-7.
How about Auburn?
Since that game that we had them against LSU, they've been a different team. Dobbs hands it off to John Kelly. Keeps those feet moving and driving, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Picks up 8 on the play. Alvin Kamara, if you're just joining us, not available tonight. Out with an injury for the Volunteers, so Kelly going to get a lot of those runs that he normally might get. A change of pace back from Jalen Hurd. Interesting recruiting story. Butch Jones and Robert Gillespie, the coach for the Volunteers, drove through a 3-hour driving snowstorm in Detroit a couple of years ago to watch him play and recruit John Kelly. I guess they promised him the weather would be a little better down in Knoxville.
This is where you have to be careful if you're Tennessee again. Remember, Muschamp will like to get some drops into the zones inside and try to get a takeaway.
Kelly again picks up the first down on 3rd and 1, so a steady diet of Kelly getting it done for Tennessee. Under 9 minutes to go here in the first half of play.
I feel like Tennessee needs more Dobbs. Put him in an empty position, let him survey the field, let him throw it if he wants to, but more Dobbs might be good for them right now.
Well, they blow this play dead.
Second charge timeout, South Carolina.
South Carolina with 1 timeout remaining now, and we're going to take one right along with them.
So Dari, Booger, and Chris are watching that, him, and them. Which means later, you can tune into SEC Now and watch it all. SEC Now, tonight on the SEC ESPN Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to Columbia, South Carolina. An electric atmosphere under the lights here. Gamecocks leading 14-7. Dobbs kept it and got drilled back at the 30-yard line. He's going to lose 3 yards. T.J. Holloman was the first one to get there. Got there with G.J. Wanham.
Tremendous effort on the right side. That's part of that left side of the Tennessee line that at times has struggled. And this is, again, where you need to be careful. Tennessee, careful of throwing over the middle. The drop in coverage. Zone packages here.
Smith in motion, sets in the slot, and boy, Dobbs threw a terrible pass that time. And he appeared to have time, too. 3rd and long coming up.
Look at that. 60 penalty yards for Tennessee.
And Dobbs just 4 of 9 passing for 34 yards.
Jonesy, he's probably going to face 8 men in coverage here. He has to be careful. One pick already tonight, trying to force one inside where he didn't see all those guys dropping into coverage.
Got plenty of time. An incomplete intended for Smith. Been a struggle for Josh Dobbs in Tennessee offensively.
Hey, just watch them drop out in here. You'll see one of the underneath zones that they take away for the zone blitz coverage. They're just watching things short, taking away any place that Dobbs would like to throw short to try and force him to throw it down the middle of the field. And they've gotten 1 pick already tonight.
Trevor Daniel into punt. A booming spiral. Debo Samuel watches it bounce over his head. Oh my goodness, you couldn't have placed that any better. Let's see what the ruling is, if it went into the end zone or not. And it's going to come out. Wow. It appeared as if Daniel got it to stop right at the 1-yard line.
The ruling on the field is a touchback. First down, 20-yard line, South Carolina.
McDowell takes it into the end zone. Knocked it into the end zone. Folks, get your NFL Sunday started on ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. NFL Insider Sunday edition with all the injury news and fantasy updates. Then at 11, Sunday NFL Countdown Crew. Got it all for you. Both shows streaming live on the ESPN app and also on Watch ESPN. They're going to review that last punt. And,
well, remember,
it almost looked like the South Carolina player kicked it into the end zone.
It doesn't matter where the Tennessee player is when he recovers it. What matters is where the ball is. Does it break the plane? So it looks like he's downed it, but then it's kicked by a South Carolina player. So the Tennessee player did the right thing. He doesn't take it into the end zone. That ball doesn't break the plane. So this ball should be down right here. Again, doesn't matter, he's in the end zone. The ball is not broken the plane. It's the kick by the South Carolina player that moves it in the end zone.
It looked like Bryant there for South Carolina gave it that accidentally on purpose kick of the ball into the end zone, so it come out.
Right there, hasn't broken the plane. But there's the kick by the South Carolina player. That should be marked at about that 1 foot yard line, right about there, yeah.
McDowell was left having to explain things to Butch Jones on the Tennessee sidelines, but yeah, you see the left foot kick it into the end zone. It was not the Tennessee player that kicked it into the end zone or had it go into the end zone. And that's what I would guess Butch Jones is so incensed about on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's irate.
Looking at the replay on the big screen here.
Well, he's saying my guy downed it in the field of play, and a South Carolina guy kicked it into the end zone. I always find this funny. He said, "Can you look at it?" And the official,
don't
"No,
wanna-
I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look at it.
Don't
Not
make me
looking."
look.
Yeah. Happens every week.
By the way, that was a career-long punt. And look at Butch Jones's reaction here. Yeah, he seems very convinced, I would think there, folks. The official's like, hey, I got nothing to do with it.
I see nothing.
Yep.
I can't see the video. I see nothing.
Not believing those lion eyes, I guess. Clearly, the South Carolina player kicked it in the end zone.
Yeah, but
here.
the first thing is, you know, is this ball recovered? Does it break the plane? And he didn't break the plane with it. Again, the body of the Tennessee player is irrelevant. It's the position of the ball. Does the ball break the plane? And it does not, in my view, break the plane there.
And by the way, what a punt by Trevor Daniel.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchback, South Carolina. First down from the 20-yard line.
Well, Jonesy, the only way they could confirm that is they had to believe that the ball broke the plane somehow when the Tennessee player touched it.
Yep. That didn't appear to be what I saw. It'll be first down and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Gamecocks.
Well, in the opinion of the replay booth, they believe the Tennessee player broke the plane with the football. So there's your explanation.
Dowdle on the sweep, brought down Rod. Let's go back to the quarterback, Jake Bentley. They burned his redshirt year. You were in a similar position at Stanford. What was it like? How does that dynamic work when the coach says we want you to play?
Well, as a player, you want to play. And we were at the last game of the year. We had a bunch of injuries to our defensive backs, and coaches asked me to be ready to play. And I said, absolutely, coach, I'm ready to go. My teammates came to me and said, no way. You are not burning your year for one game. And a couple guys who were banged up said, if I have to crawl on the field, you are not playing.
So it was that, as Dowdle runs it again for about 4 yards, was that just the senior saying, you don't know what's good for you yet? We're going to stop you from hurting
That's
yourself?
That's exactly what it was. You know, you want to play. You want to help your team. And so you would gladly trade 1 year of eligibility for the one game. It's a big game, you know.
Right.
And fortunately, the junior, senior guys, they were like, we're looking out for you. You're not playing in this one game and burning a year.
Bentley, 7 games into the season, burning the red shirt. Played his first game last week, winning against UMass. Backside pressure, and he ends up sacked by Todd Kelly Jr. And fourth down coming up.
A strong safety blitz that they did not anticipate, didn't see coming. You see the gap open up because of so much attention to Barnett on the right side. An easy sack for Mr. Kelly.
That's one of the intricacies for a true freshman quarterback is your protections, right? Time didn't have enough of it. Smith watching it bounce and fields it at the 33. Pushing forward to the 38. 50-yard punt. 5 on the return. Big hit by Kelly a moment ago. Timeout. First and 10 for Dodd, trying to get back in rhythm when we return. Welcome back, everyone. Taco Bell, proud partner of College Football Playoff. Be on the lookout for Taco Bell student sections and passionate fans like these at games all season long. And I see a familiar face in amongst those passionate fans.
It's a mass of humanity, Jonesy, and it smells like a bar. But these students are going crazy up here all night. They are very much in belief that the Gamecocks can pull off the upset.
We see you, Quinn.
A lot of energy.
On the jet sweep. On first and 10, Evan Berry getting the call on offense. Two-way player. 6-yard gain.
Quint was surrounded, much like Dobbs has been surrounded by that South Carolina defense.
Yeah, swarm. Q's just warming up with that, had that 5-mile jog with Van Mullen last week as Dobbs keeps it for the first down. You never know where Quint's going to end up. Whether it's going on long runs with head coaches, student sections, Taco Bell. It's Halloween, too, so anything goes. First and 10. Kelly back to the line of scrimmage. We go back to the studio.
And we've got a studio update from the big one down there at the Doak. Clemson opening drive of the game, touchdown, 7-0. That's where it stands right now on ABC, fellas.
Clemson, one of those top 4 teams in the college football playoff projections. Right, Rod?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking with you.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Dobbs fires complete. Good-looking pass. Going with a lot of authority that time. Malone working against Jamarcus King. And an 8-yard gain on the play. That's where he marked his forward progress.
I think Tennessee needs more Dobbs. You might get him here on 3rd down, but on 1st down, they need more Dobbs. They need to give him the option of the quick pass or the choice to run.
3rd and 2. Hurd made a couple of guys miss and got the first down.
You know, it's just been a slow start for Tennessee, as it has been most of the season, but 1st down is critical to that. I think they need more Dobbs. Put him in this empty. I like this formation for him. Let him see the field, and if he doesn't like what he sees, let him run.
Well, Quinn talked about the changes, the quick period that Butch Jones put in to try and get them out of the gate faster. Dobbs hits his receiver, Jason Kroom, out of the backfield, picks up 4.
That empty formation can be a substitute for the 1st down rushing attack. You can get 4 yards, and then you can go to your 2nd down game, and it works for you. But they got to avoid 3rd and long, because that situation has not worked out well.
Kelly with a nice move. Down to the 30-yard line. What's it going to take for them to take a shot downfield? They say he's improved in the passing game on the deep shots.
Well, South Carolina's not giving that to him. They are laying back and forcing him to take things that are short, and he should take them. Throwing it deep would be forcing him.
Kelly in the backfield, 3rd and 2. They're 5 of 10 on their 3rd down conversions tonight. Dobbs kept it, and he's going to be stoned for a loss on the play. T.J. Holloman was waiting there for him. And it's 4th down for the Vols.
They brought Holloman and brought the pressure off the right side, guessing correctly that they would go with Dobbs and some sort of a zone read possibility for him. And Butch Jones thinking, take the field goal here.
Let's go down to Quint real quick.
Medley is only 6 of 20, plus 40 in his career. Many of his misses he has pushed right. His long on the season is 39, but when he misses from distance, he usually pushes the ball right.
And we have a timeout called on the field. Well, his
First
career
charge
long is
timeout,
47.
Tennessee. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Let's go back to the studio.
All right, and coming up on the Outback Halftime Report, Jonathan Vilma and Butch Davis will join me. We're going to talk about the big trouble for the Big 12. They had 2 playoff contenders coming into the day. They have 0 coming out of the day. 3 top 10 teams were in trouble late in the 4th quarter. Some very close calls. And we'll also get you the latest from Doak, FSU, and Clemson. That's coming up at the half, guys.
All right, back here, 4th and 2. Medley was setting up for a field goal. His long this year, just 39. And, you know, so much on the line for Tennessee, Rod. And coming off of a bye week, a little puzzled by this arrhythmic start to their game. Just 7 points.
Well, road game in the SEC, tough environment, and a lot at stake for Tennessee. Remember, they have the tiebreaker over Florida, having beaten them, but they need to win out to be in position to win the East, and no field goal. They listened to Q, decided that it wasn't a gimme 3 points, and have brought the offense back out. This has got to be something with Dobbs having an option of run pass.
They don't look like they're lined up correctly. Play clock at 2.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. Disconcerted and discombobulated.
How do you call the timeout and then come back on the field and not run the play correctly and blow another timeout? Wow. Wow. That's unbelievable.
It appeared almost right away that when Dobbs was waving at Josh Malone or one of his receivers out there, Juwan Jennings, one of the two, that somebody wasn't where they should have been.
Well, the three of them couldn't figure it out, and then Dobbs gets over there and tells Jennings to come to the other side and recognizes there's not enough time. And just like that, you had a timeout that you wasted and then brought another one right behind it. Wow.
I know one thing. I'm not going to fault the aerospace engineer major.
No, but the karma and the rhythm is impacted now.
Let's see what happens. 4th and 2. Jennings in motion. Dobbs on the rollout. Nobody open. Sack back at the 40. Gamecocks take over on downs. And there's a flag on the play, so hold on. Wait a minute, folks. Marquavius Lewis, Darius English there on the tackle along with Rashad Felton.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 93 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down, South Carolina.
The foul, the penalty, pardon me, on Rico Jones after they had diagnosed and blown up the play for Dobbs. And it's going to remain Tennessee football. Check that. Yeah, I'm sorry. First down, South Carolina. After the play. .149 to go. Jake Bentley 1st and 10 from his own 24. Hayden Hurst sets now. Dowdle, spirited run, picks up about 9 as we go to Quint.
It's going to be interesting to see how Will Muschamp and Kurt Roper approach the clock right now. Under 2 minutes to go. Do they stay in attack mode, or do they just kind of sniff it out here with another running play? Tennessee's only got one timeout, so does Will Muschamp play it conservative here and take the lead into halftime, or does he go for the kill?
I think he's probably conservative unless somebody breaks a tackle and makes a play. I mean, it's an awful lot to put on a freshman quarterback to run a 2-minute drill here in this spot.
Well, he's played with poise belying his age, though, tonight. David Williams picks up 2, and remember, Elliott Fry's got a pretty strong leg. We saw him kick a game winner in a game that we did, Rod, earlier this year. He kicked a 55-yarder to defeat Vandy.
Well, I will
as the game ended.
Agreed. I will say this. Bentley has a good arm. He places the ball very well on deep throws, particularly to the outside. So you can trust him to throws to the outside. I wouldn't trust him throwing it over the middle right now.
Williams, that tall target. He caught the touchdown earlier to the top of the screen, but they run it. This is Dowdle. And I think there's the answer to the question. Maybe they're going to play it conservative and go into the locker room with a 14-7 lead.
I have no problem with that. I mean, the way they played this first half, why take a risk of giving something back right now?
You're not the guy I'm going to take to a casino. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, true. But if I go to a casino with you, I'm spending your money. So we're all good.
Muschamp going to play it safe here. Got to know when to hold him and fold him. Dowdle and a chorus of a small smattering of boos. Sometimes people are hard to please, even when you got a 14-7 lead at halftime. But these two teams historically in the last 4 years have played very close competitive games. This one fitting right into that trend. It's 14-7 at the break. Nighttime game here in Columbia, South Carolina, as we head to the studio for our Outback Steakhouse halftime report. And welcome back, everyone, to Williams-Brice Stadium. Under the lights here in Columbia, South Carolina. An upset brewing here. The Gamecocks leading the Volunteers 14-7 as we get ready for the start of the third quarter of play. The Volunteers with a big opportunity going down the stretch run in the SEC East. Time now to check into our check into cash game update. And well, those numbers are pretty telling, Rod.
Well, things you need in the second half. Tennessee, they need more Josh Dobbs, and in particular on first down and second down. He's got to run it more, only 8 rushes. They also have to find a way to pressure Bentley more. They got a couple of sacks, some hurries, but they can put more pressure on him. And if you're a South Carolina fan, you need to run the ball better. That will take pressure off Bentley. It'll give you a chance to get some things done. If they don't run it better, Bentley is going to get knocked around in the second half.
Well, one of the big stories of the first half was the performance of the true freshman Bentley at quarterback. There's a lot of talk during the week here in Columbia about how he might play in the first half and in the first start in SEC play, and he has done a tremendous job, showing a lot of poise beyond his years. But Tennessee's going to get the ball here to start the third quarter. Evan Berry back for the kickoff. He was an All-American last year in kickoff returns, had 3 for touchdowns a season ago. The Vols could use a spark. And he's going to run it out. Berry at full speed out to the 27 as we go down to Quint.
Coach, 98 total yards on offense. Where does a turnaround start?
Well, it starts getting the ball in the second half and sustaining drives. We got to stay out of 3rd and long. We have way too many negative yardage plays. We've been in this position. We just have to focus on winning our one-on-one battles and having it one snap at a time.
Thank you, Coach.
You know, Jonesy, Dobbs' third down passing has not been good. He's been a pocket passer. This is why they got to get it on first down and second down. Throw it on first or second. Let him run more.
Going to hand it off to John Kelly here on first down. Kelly keeps those legs moving, and an impressive moving of the pile for about 7 yards after he made contact with the first would-be tackler. 17-yard gain by John Kelly. I wonder if he's going to get more touches here in the second half, Rod, because Jalen Hurd really hasn't looked the explosive Jalen Hurd that we know.
I don't think Hurd's 100%. They're missing Kamara. Kelly may have to be the guy that gives them a big play.
Here's that empty formation that seems to favor Dobbs. Threw it behind Jawan Jennings, incomplete.
Yeah, they've got to get Dobbs back into a rhythm. And that's what the quick game gives them. And normally, you know, they start that way, and they did that at the beginning of the game, and then they got into the habit of third down throws, and their rhythm is gone in the passing game. So they've got to get to Dobbs early, I think, on first down to get him going.
That's the third drop that he's had tonight. Kelly breaking tackles again, a nice gain of about 5. Brought down by Uric Jones. Third down coming up for the Volunteers.
And what South Carolina has done on third down is gone to a zone defense and zone pressure. They've brought 3 or 4 and dropped and taken away the short zones and forced Dobbs to try to find a hole.
That was Kamara you saw on the Tennessee sidelines, out with an injury. 3rd and 3. Dobbs brought down about 2 yards short of the first down by Darius English. A gain of 3 on the play. English leads the Gamecocks in sacks this year with 6. So 4th down in a pretty good way to start the 3rd quarter for this unheralded South Carolina defense. You know, one thing we didn't talk about much in the first half was the fact that nobody's played more freshmen this year than South Carolina. 4th punt of the night. Deebo Samuel back at his 10. Trevor Daniel sends it up high, and Samuel calls for the fair catch at the 11-yard line. A 39-yard punt, and nothing on the return. Jake Bentley. Maybe not super numbers, but very efficient tonight.
Alabama, they're the best team in America.
Is Michigan the #1 team in the country?
Number one thing the committee has to do, get the 4 best teams in the playoff.
College Football Playoff Top 25 Ranking Show, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN. College Football Playoff Top 25 Ranking Show, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
And now let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. Usual suspects in the top 4. Louisville coming back to win today, and a tight one at Virginia.
You're going to see a little bit of a change. Baylor losing today, West Virginia losing today. They will both fall out of that.
We said a tough scenario whereby the Big 12 will get into the college football playoff. Almost an impossible one. Dowdle picks up 5. Martin making the tackle on the play. If you're just joining us, Jake Bentley making his first SEC start right there. True freshman. Passed up his final year of high school, reclassifying, and joining his father, Bob, who's the running backs coach here on staff at the University of South Carolina. Little receiver screen to Samuel. Deebo brought down, looks like half a yard shy of that first down by Kirkland.
So Bentley's reclassification from next year's class of 2017 to this one, 2016, has created a little quarterback drama at South Carolina.
3rd and 1, they go fast, and Dowdle picks up the first down and then some.
This is one of the things we talked about, the adjustments in the second half. South Carolina running the ball better, running more, taking some pressure off Bentley. Dowdle did that, picking up that big gain right there.
12-yard pickup. South Carolina started the year with Perry Orth, the senior, as the #1 quarterback. Brandon McElwain was #2 at the time. And they took the red shirt off of Jake Bentley last week, and he played against UMass. Went right through his progression and picked up the first down, Rod. A pickup of 14 and a catch by Samuel.
When the rushing attack is better, it takes the pressure off of Bentley. He had plenty of time, didn't have to deal with Barnett in his face, and was able to get that out there.
From the 46. Dowdle again. Another 8-yard chunk of real estate. And Kirkland making the stop.
Really smart decision. They are running at Barnett, allowing him to make his pass rushing move and running just outside of him or just inside of him.
Tennessee loading up the box. Bentley going to take off this time. Picks up enough for the first down. Nice looking run, about 5 yards on the play by Jake Bentley.
Yeah, he's not the running quarterback. That's McElwain. And you mentioned Orth being the starter. McElwain started 3 games, and McElwain's mother was none too happy to find out that Bentley took over at quarterback, and feels like her son made a big decision to come to South Carolina, passed up a lot of Major League Baseball money, and felt like he wasn't getting the same chance that Bentley's getting.
Will Muschamp had some interesting comments saying, hey, Mom can call me anytime. This time, Bentley going to be sacked as we go down to Quinn. Q?
Rod mentioned earlier about McElwain passing up $500,000, maybe even more than $1 million in the Major League Baseball draft. I talked to Chad Holbrook, South Carolina's baseball coach, and he said Brandon views the college experience as being priceless. So it's not about money. His family also has roots here at South Carolina. His dad, Roddy, is an SC grad. So he loves this place. He wants to be here. We'll see how being a two-sport guy develops.
Sometimes these things have a way of working themselves out. Little blitz by Tennessee. Samuel on the receiver screen. Picked up about 2 yards on the play, but that time we saw Bentley take a hit, Rod, and deliver the pass. A little tap there for Barnett.
Well, it's going to happen. You got to stand in and take this, and he bought the time and took the hit. You mentioned, McElwain and being comfortable with your decision. Once you make that decision, you have to be. There are no promises or guarantees when you pass up the Major League Baseball money. And so you have that. That is what it is right now for him. But it also points out, McElwain was not recruited by Will Muschamp. He committed to South Carolina well before Muschamp signed on here.
They set up the screen. Dowdle brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Well read by that volunteer defense, and 4th down coming up.
Well, not a surprise. We talked about this as well. Tennessee would turn up the heat, put pressure on Bentley, knock him around, let him realize he's not playing UMass like he did last week. This is Tennessee. They've got Barnett. They've got others. They can put pressure on you. You will get knocked around, and he has taken some hits here in the 3rd quarter.
Osborne with the hit. There's the punt by Kelly. Goes all the way into the end zone, 42 yards, but it'll come back out. It's a pretty steep learning curve for the true freshman Bentley. Gamecocks with the lead when we come back.
Challenge for Tennessee is getting Dobbs back on track. It's been a tough night after he threw a pick to King. Right here, you see that. And then 3rd down passing became a challenge. Not much time on these long situations. Muschamp dropping 8 guys into coverage. Some drops, it's been a problem. So the antidote is possibly more Dobbs, quick passing on 1st down.
Well, they scored on their 2nd drive of the ball game. Nothing since. 1st and 10 from the 20. Kelly in the backfield. Dobbs surveys complete over the middle of the field. Ethan Wolf all the way out to the 45, and a 25-yard gain for Tennessee.
Did he look good on that? I mean, he looked comfortable, poised in the pocket, and threw a perfect strike.
Tennessee up at the line of scrimmage quickly.
This is his favorite formation, in my view.
Looks into the boundary, incomplete. Knocked out of the arms of Jawan Jennings as we go back to the last play. And what impressed you about this throw here, Rob?
Well, it's a 1st down throw. He knows what he's getting. He doesn't have any heat on him, and he comes off his first receiver to come back and find his tight end, Wolf, over the middle. Good progression, good solid throw.
2nd and 10. Dobbs. What a catch by Jawan Jennings. Wow. While fending off the DB, Rashad Fenton, a 26-yard gain.
Well, Jennings used his body to block off Fenton and to come back for that ball. That was really well done. He kind of used him to brace himself.
And if you listen closely, I think I heard Jawan Jennings say, weight room.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. The previous play is under further review.
Take another peek at this one. Jennings, if you remember, wow. That's a catch.
Well, remember, you really need clear evidence to overturn the call on the field. One-handed grab. He looks like he's got hands underneath that, although from that angle, a little hard to tell. Now, if he's got the hands underneath it, it can still touch the ground and move a little bit. That's not the problem. What I can't tell from that angle is whether his hands are completely underneath the ball. From that angle, it looks more like he doesn't have it completely underneath it.
These all seem very indefinitive.
Yeah. I mean, you really need a clear, definitive answer that he does not have his hands underneath. And that one looks more like that moved an awful lot, and he doesn't have his hand underneath. So that looks like that's an incomplete pass there.
Remember, it was Jennings that caught the Hail Mary touchdown catch against Georgia.
Yeah, you see how far a little movement is not a problem, but it looks like that one moved away from where his hand was underneath it, and the ground looked like that caused that to be incomplete. I think that should be one that doesn't stand.
Right. And when you slowed it down on that,
that was
last angle.
Best angle, absolutely.
Yeah, Jennings was the guy that caught that Hail Mary pass at the end of the year, end of the game against Georgia for the game-winning touchdown on that Hail Mary pass. And Tennessee down by just a touchdown here, Rod. Vols Nation would say we got them right where we want them right now, right?
Yeah.
With all the comebacks they've had?
Well, they're used to that, but there is a lot at stake for Tennessee right now. I mean, right now they're trying to keep pace with Florida. They own the tiebreaker over Florida. Florida has to play LSU in November. But if Tennessee loses this game, the dreams of the SEC East title probably go away completely.
Yeah, and this is Butch Jones's 4th year. This is perceived to be the year for Butch Jones that they make their breakthrough and win the SEC East. With several great recruiting classes, including his quarterback, Josh Dobbs, who was a member of that first recruiting class.
You know, Jonesy, when the officials are taking this long, usually they're looking at the clock or where to spot the ball in addition to catch, no catch. And that last view we saw looked to us like it was an incomplete pass.
After review, the pass is incomplete. Will be 3rd down and 10. South Carolina.
Okay, now a 3rd and long situation for Tennessee.
This is where Dobbs has struggled. This is where Muschamp has mixed it up. He has dropped 8 into coverage and dared Dobbs to throw over the middle. He brought 5 for pressure the last time. This is what South Carolina wants. They think these 3rd and long situations, they can get a takeaway.
Empty formation for Dobbs. One man to beat, and he couldn't do it. And now he flings it out of bounds before he was brought down. And it's 4th down. They're going to rule him down back at the 37-yard line. The official moved in and made the spot there. But Dante Sawyer was there and wouldn't let go of his leg.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket, and the pass went beyond the line of scrimmage.
Okay, so it's saying incomplete pass then.
What a tremendous play by Sawyer. That big guy at 6'3", 275 to keep Dobbs in his sights and not let him get around. That's a tremendous play.
Tebow Samuel back. And he won't get an opportunity to run this one back. Dobbs continuing to struggle. We'll be back after this.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the all-new Honda Ridgeline for truck tough things and everyday things. And Wendy's 4 for $4, now with Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger for a limited time only.
Well, that's former Gamecock star Marcus Lattimore, now the head coach for Heathwood Hall here in Columbia, South Carolina. Thursday, the team celebrated their 12-0 win over Hammond Middle to win the private middle school title. And last night, their high school team beat Hammond in a Friday night battle 52-14. One of the most talented backs ever to come through the doors here in Columbia. And unfortunately had his career truncated by a knee injury. Man, Dowdle out on the loose. Oh, he hit him with the 2-piece.
think he got inspired by Mr. Lattimore a little bit there. You know, Marcus Lattimore, one of the greatest running backs ever, not just in South Carolina, but how about that move by Dowdle to get to the edge and give South Carolina a big play.
Oh, he sauced all over Darren Kirkland. Number 34, the Tennessee linebacker, still looking for him. 1st and 10. Dowdle again, running between the tackles. This time stopped up at the 35-yard lines by Phillips.
Tennessee bringing pressure on almost every down now, looking for a way to come up with a big play or to get another hit on Bentley. They've really gone after Bentley.
Second down and 5. David Williams in the ball game as Dowdle gets a breather on the bench. Little blitz coming, and Tennessee blitzing at the good time that time as Galden made the tackle on David Williams.
That's the 3rd straight down that Tennessee has called the blitz. Bob Shute, their defensive coordinator, bring in the pressure, run blitzes to try and slow down the rushing attack, and then regular blitzes to get after Bentley and knock him around. And a 3rd and 6, they view that as a passing situation. So can they protect Bentley here?
See if they're trying to heat up the true freshman.
You know, Tennessee has not been big on sacks this year, even though they've brought pressure.
There is Derek Barnett on this play. Coming off the edge. Bentley caught at the 13-yard line by Debo. 1st down, South Carolina.
What a play. Jonesy, they pick up the blitz, and Bentley gets rid of it quickly on time, and you get a great catch on the other end. Barnett gets driven beyond. The ball comes out quickly, and then a big catch by Debo Samuel down here. Just competing, getting up there, winning that 50-50 ball.
Wow. What a grab by Samuel.
What pass protection also.
Mosley was right there. Samuel in motion on the jet sweep. Takes it with a head of steam. And Samuel pushed out of bounds before the 1st down. Got a good block out in front of him by Brian Edwards, the 6'3" wide receiver. He picked up 6.
And those are the advantages that they have down here. They have seriously good receivers who are tall, like Edwards and others.
Let's keep an eye on Edwards. Lining up now to the bottom of your screen.
Okay, he's down here. Really good ball skills. He can get up and get it.
He caught the touchdown pass last time they were down here. This time they handed off, though. And nowhere to go for Dowdle. He got ripped by Colton Jumper. No gain on the play. Colton Jumper, the former walk-on.
Well, last time they were down here and threw the ball, they had Edwards run a slant, and they got him into the end zone for a touchdown. Now, he has the ability to do that, but he's also really, really good on those fade routes. He can out-jump corners.
Let's look at what they've done on 3rd downs. Worst in the league.
How do you match up with him?
Bentley looks his way, but scrambles the other direction. It's a foot race. Let's see where they mark this. He got the 1st down, and they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 1. And there's an injured Tennessee player back at the 15.
Watch the point. This is pure gamesmanship. He's got nobody over here, but he's pointing to slow down the Tennessee guys. He had no receiver anywhere around. Smart play.
Showing a lot of poise and savvy, and that's Shy Tuttle. Starting defensive tackle for Tennessee.
You know, Tennessee has been beaten up at the tackle spot there without so many players in there. They could hardly afford to lose Shuttle. They're already without Khalil McKenzie. He's out for the year.
Let's go down to Quinn.
Yeah, Danny O'Brien was dismissed from the team. Rod, you mentioned Khalil McKenzie. This is a defense that has been ravaged, I mean, absolutely ravaged by injury tonight. Cam Sutton, once again, not playing. Jalen Reeves-Maben. And you think about leadership, and I don't see much player leadership on the Vols sideline tonight. 3 of their 4 captains are injured and not dressed. For the opening coin toss, it was just Josh Dobbs. And right now, I worry about this defense in terms of their depth, and I worry about this team in terms of internal leadership.
Yeah, it's a good point, Q, and you think about what they went through with that tough stretch of, you say the 4 games against ranked teams, but the entire first half of the season was challenging and a lot of injuries and so much at stake for them right now. You wonder, do they have enough to make it to the finish line with what should be an easy schedule? Maybe not.
This would be seen as and there's plenty of football to play here, folks. I am not being premature here about who's going to win, but if they would, this would be a crippling loss for Tennessee and their SEC East hopes. There's Tuttle now being helped off the field. And there's Cam Sutton.
He's in a boot. They're also without Malik Foreman, who had stepped in as a starter for Sutton. He's not played tonight. Micah Abernathy, the safety, he's not played. Just a lot of injuries on that Tennessee defense.
Yeah, we saw Balin Buchanan get worked on early in the ball game on the corner spot. One of those replacements, a true freshman. First and goal for South Carolina. Dowdle on the handoff and stopped up after a gain of 1 on the play. Tough running. He's already gone over 100 yards for the night on the heels of an 87-yard performance last week against UMass. So for all the doubters that said, hey, that's just UMass, wait until Tennessee, well, dig those stats.
He was a good high school football player. Was a state and parade All-American, more than 50 touchdowns in his high school career. He's a slashing, powerful runner, and this is a good place for him down here.
Second and goal. Bentley on the waggle. Touchdown, South Carolina. There's a flag, though. There's a flag down. Let's wait, folks.
Holding. Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
That's against Hayden Hurst, their tight end. Former baseball prospect.
Now an NFL prospect. 6'5", 250 pounds.
Keep an eye on 81.
Right in the middle of your screen. He had Derek Barnett. He wouldn't let go of him.
Going to be second and goal from the 12-yard line now. There's Williams at the top of your screen. Dowdle again. Great open field tackle on the edge by Mosley. I mean, that was textbook in the open field.
So how much confidence do you have in your freshman quarterback here? You know you have a field goal in your back pocket. Are you willing to throw the ball into the end zone? Having seen him tonight and on tape last week, I would trust him to throw that fade route. He puts the ball where only his guy can get it, and if his guy doesn't get it, goes out of bounds. So that would be the choice, and it would be up here, in my view, to Edwards. That would be the safe throw towards the corner of the end zone.
Little blitz coming. He gets rid of it quickly, and nothing doing there. Pass complete to Deebo Samuel, but he was brought down immediately. So the Vols get a win there, Rod, right?
Yeah, they do, but Muschamp was happy that he didn't want to take a chance. He knew he had 3 points in his back pocket. It gives them a 2-possession lead if they get the points here, and he was comfortable with that. He did not want to take a chance on any kind of a turnover or a sack.
Elliott Fry, who is 7 of 10 on the season, going to try this one from 28 yards out. And he knocks it through. South Carolina with a 10-point lead when we come back to Columbia. Well, celebrating its 12th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds, and this place,
are you digging this?
Is amped.
Is this crazy or what?
Lit.
This is unbelievable.
And Halloween doesn't have a thing to do with it either. Will Muschamp talked about how special the atmosphere is here at nighttime because he remembers coaching here as a visitor at nighttime against South Carolina. Berry on the return. Always dangerous. Berry. Evan Berry. He's got a little get back. Payback. Touchdown, Tennessee. "100 yards, folks. That's what an All-American kick returner looks like."
Watch him hit that hole and just turn on the jets. He hit that right up the middle, saw the kicker, and never hesitated, went to overdrive to the right side. Nothing there.
Evan Berry, whose brother Eric also played at Tennessee and was a very prominent and prolific player for the Volunteers, making his own footprints here with the Vol Nation. His second 100-yard touchdown return. And before the Gamecocks could breathe, Evan Turner delivers, pardon me, Berry delivers an education and acceleration for him. What an answer. Turned on the jets and was gone. Mentioned last year he had 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns. Here's one here.
Well, look at the blocking. He gets inside and he hits that hole and away he goes.
His last 100-yard kickoff return was about a year ago this time at Kentucky. Volunteers used to playing tight, close games this year. That's just the way they've handled their business. Well, let's go back to the studio.
I'm Chris Hassel. I got Coach Davis with me. Dalvin Cook for Florida State.
Sees the cutback, and he's also got the power to overrun the safety to get in for the touchdown.
But Clemson has added a field goal. It's a 17-7 game. Boise's still unbeaten and still tricking people.
Yeah, don't you love that? Obviously, jet sweep, reverse, throw it back to the quarterback. Nobody covered him.
That's Brett Rippon, the quarterback, running it in for the score. They're up 8, guys.
They always got to stay awake when the Broncos get into their trick book.
People don't know about the Broncos yet. Really? Still?
1:35 to go here in Columbia, South Carolina. Evan Berry electrifying the Volunteer Nation with a kickoff return a moment ago, but Deebo Samuel come right back for the first down.
So that rushing, that last drive helps Bentley. Brings another safety inside to try and stop the rushing attack, and it gives them simple coverage on the outside. One-on-one, he can throw those passes like that.
Tennessee blitzed him a lot on that last possession.
Well, and that gives you the single coverage on the outside. You see them trying to disguise, and then the safety coming down, as you see right there.
Arnett got handled that time on the edge, and Bentley wisely throws it away. Let's go downstairs to Quinn.
One thing we've seen from South Carolina's offense tonight is Hayden Hurst, 81, has not been targeted, and he's actually done a lot of pass blocking, max protect type situations where he and a running back help out on Barnett. That was just a 3-man route on that last play. 81 comes into this game as one of their leading receivers. Today he's more of a blocker.
Yeah, you got to protect Bentley. He's been hit quite a bit tonight.
Bentley looking over to get the call. They hold up those placards.
These safeties, they keep playing games, and one of them will sneak down.
Dowdle spins into nowhere. And brought down at the 41-yard line. 3rd and long coming up. Kirkland making the tackle on the play for the Vols.
So the South Carolina coaches are looking at those safeties, and when they see one coming down disguising, they know that they've got a chance to have single coverage on the outside and to allow Bentley to throw back.
3rd and 10. Dowdle in the backfield now, sets. Blitz, and they get to Bentley, sacking him back at the 35. Derek Barnett, who else? Well, he beat Mason Zandy, too.
Yeah, they brought 5, but the most important one of 5 is Barnett. And if you don't have a couple guys blocking him, you got a problem. And he just goes right around Zandy to get to Bentley.
End of the 3rd quarter.
That's going to be the end of 3 quarters of play. 15 minutes to go. The Vols in another tight finish when we come back to Columbia.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary. What's in your wallet?
Wow! Unbelievable!
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the College Football Playoff.
Welcome back, everyone, to Columbia, South Carolina, where you're watching the SEC on ESPN. 4th down coming up for the Gamecocks. Sean Kelly going to punt. Josh Smith back for this punt for the Volunteers, and they're going to get it at about the 26-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Josh Dobbs. And the good news for Butch Jones's crew is that they've outscored their opponents by a margin of 90-42 in the 4th quarter. That's tops in the SEC for what it's worth, but there's a flag down in the play. Let's see what it's about. It's all the way back at the 39-yard line.
So that's the good news, their 4th quarter performance. The bad news is no Kamara, and I don't think Hurd's 100%.
During the return, receiving team holding number 35, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's going to back it up even more. Remember, Tennessee coming off a 4-game murderous streak of ranked opponents. Nobody else in the country has played ranked opponents 4 consecutive weeks. They did have the bye week, and there's Tuttle, who they're taking off the field right now, the defensive tackle for the Volunteers. So on a team that's really been hit hard by injuries, one more starter seemingly out for a little bit. Number 16, Dobbs, not even close. Intended for Josh Malone. Rod, we were talking during the break. Tennessee, I'm sorry, a little underwhelming here coming off a bye week.
Well, they're inefficient offensively right now. I mean, you take Kamara out. Hurd, I don't believe is 100%. Those are 2 big weapons out of your offense.
2nd and 10. Dobbs kept it and got stopped immediately by Jonathan Walton.
You take those 2 players out of your offense and you get an inspired performance from a defense like this with Walton jumping all over Dobbs, you've got a problem. And right now, this 3rd and long, this is the worst situation for the Tennessee offense. They've not handled this well tonight.
Almost almost intercepted at the 27 by Montag.
And that's the problem. These 3rd and long situations, Muschamp has been able defensively to run coverages in the middle of the field and dare Dobbs to make the good throw, and he hasn't been able to do that. The drop-back passing game has been an issue for Tennessee all night, and it's exasperated when you are 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14.
They've had one offensive touchdown all night, and a kickoff return for a touchdown. Deebo Samuel starting at his 45. Going to get an opportunity here, but he calls for a fair catch. Back at the 35-yard line. A 49-yard punt, nothing on the return. Gamecocks leading by a field goal. And Bentley at the wheel when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look at tonight's hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth. And head quarterback Bentley has taken some hits. He stood in the pocket and delivered some key passes tonight.
Well, he's also used his legs on a couple of key occasions, and you know, not a big numbers night. 10 of 14 for 99 yards, a touchdown and rush for 1. But he's made plays when they've needed him to make plays, and he's stood in there and taken hits when he's had to.
First down and 10 for Bentley on the 35. Hurst in motion, now sets. Dowdle on the handoff. And he picks up about 3. You know, it's been a real big week for Jake Bentley. 2 weeks, actually, going back to Massachusetts last week when they played there, and he got his first start and won. His dad, the running backs coach here, Bob, and the mayor of Opelika actually texted him. According to one of the local newspaper reports, the superintendent of Lee County congratulated him by text too, back in Alabama.
Isn't he too young for all that stuff to be happening to him?
That's
the mayor and supervisors and stuff.
That's the world of football in the SEC, right? 2nd and 8. Dowdle trying to get to the edge, and a good tackle, limiting that gain to 2 yards by Warrior. Back to the studio.
Chris Hassel with Butch Davis. Studio update here, and Wyoming has tied things up. They would get the 2-point conversion after this. Josh Allen scrambling and finding Tanner Gentry, Coach.
Yeah, one of the things, Chris, obviously, when you got a quarterback that has the mobility, he can allow the receivers to find time to get open in the back of the end zone. Great throw and catch.
It's tied late, and this one's getting tight late in the first half. Florida State is within 3 over on ABC, fellas.
Yeah, great ACC battle there. Meanwhile, Dowdle shaken up after that last carry, putting up some great numbers tonight.
Well, these are career highs for him in touches and yards.
David Williams in there now in the spot. Bentley incomplete, intended for Edwards, who laid out but couldn't quite get there. And it's 4th down coming up. He got a nice arm.
He can spin it. He certainly can. He can spin that thing, and he can do it with touch.
Sean Kelly into punt now for the Gamecocks. Josh Smith back there at his own 20-yard line for the Volunteers. Tennessee trying to keep pace with Florida in the big picture of things in the SEC East. 7th punt of the night for the Gamecocks, and Smith backpedaling to his 10. And there's a flag thrown. He can run as much as he wants, but this one's coming back. Flag down at the 14-yard line. Emmanuel Mosley with a block in the back on the 51-yard punt. That 24-yard return will come back. And yeah, Butch Jones reminding Mosley of what he did wrong.
During the return, blocking the back, receiving team number 12, 10-yard penalty, first down.
No question about this. He's behind him.
Well, I've heard you say, Rod, if you can see a guy's numbers, don't block him. Simple.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy. And New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
And welcome back, everyone, to Columbia, South Carolina. First down and 10 for the Volunteers. Trailing by 3. Looked like they had some issues at the mesh point there. And Kelly finally wrested it away from Dobbs as we go down to Q for more on Jalen Hurd.
Hurd has been a spectator throughout the second half. Tennessee representatives have told us that he is injured. You still see his helmet on, but he was the story of their season a year ago. It just hasn't clicked for him this year.
And not much burst, not like Kelly out in the open field and on the move. Kelly pushed out of bounds at around the 45-yard line, and one of the longest plays of the night for Tennessee at 35 yards, finally pushed out by Smith.
Well, this is designed to be a cutback, and watch him slip to that side. Gets a great block over there by Kendrick, the left tackle, and then he's off to the races a bit. That's a really nice play by Kelly.
He's going to get a little breather. Kamara, if you're just joining us, not available tonight because of an injury. Was that a fumble?
That might be
South
a fumble.
Carolina ball. Looked like his own man ran into him.
Well, Dobbs was trying to throw the ball, and as he was bringing it back, it looked like his own man knocked the ball out. Yeah, he never brought his arm forward. Remember, that's a backup player stepping in there because Kelly came out, and since his arm never went forward, it's a fumble.
Wow, that's the second Tennessee turnover. Carlin Filzame was the backup tailback that seemingly hit that out of the arms of the quarterback, Josh Dobbs. And it's only because Kelly had to come out because he was gassed on the previous
you don't
play.
have Kamara, Hurd is out, and Kelly's out. You're going pretty deep into your running back stable, and that didn't work out so well. That hurt him.
After a couple of promising runs from midfield, Bentley, Edwards on the safe pass, complete at the 45-yard line, picked up 5. And it has been a frustrating night for Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, remember, South Carolina does not have Dowdle in, and he's been their best runner tonight. Their inside runner in between the tackles. Turner is in there now. A little harder to run inside with Turner. He's not as big, not as powerful as Dowdle.
2nd and 5. He gets the call. Turner put his hat down and picked up the first down on a 7-yard gain. Evan Berry came up to say hello, and A.J. Turner said, "I got a little something for you." And there's Berry shaken up as a result.
Well, Berry is in for Micah Abernathy. And you may recall Berry had the 100-yard kickoff return a little earlier, his 4th of his career.
Yeah, he was real wobbly, and you saw him immediately in the wake of the hit grab his head, and athletic trainers tending to him. This looks like he's got a laceration of some sort there. There's the hit. Oh, right there looked like
that's
A.J. Turner.
Turner's right foot and cleats. Looked like they got through the face mask there.
There's a million ways to get hurt in football, isn't there, Rob? I mean, you played. You see some strange things. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, we got a studio update. Jonathan Vilma is with me. Missed field goal in the Wisconsin-Nebraska game. The Badgers had a chance to take the lead. They don't hit it. Endicott, no.
Chris, they gotta handle the pressure. This is the games where you gotta make the field goal.
Oh, Nebraska trying to stay perfect.
What was
Who had Nebraska undefeated at this point?
Oh, boy, Mike Riley doing one of his Best coaching jobs ever. First down and 10. Berry coming off the field. And they've had some issues in the secondary. You pointed it out. Good to see him smiling. First and 10 for Bentley. Edwards in motion to the top of your screen. Handed off to Turner. And Turner brought down at about the 35 by Nigel Warrior. 3-yard gain on the play. The Warrior in the ball game with Berry out. Berry got the start at safety. And they've had a lot of changes on the back end.
Yeah, they've had a number of injuries and makes it a little bit tougher, particularly if you're calling blitzes and the like. Do you trust the guys on the back end who are stepped in to hold up back there? That's a little bit of a risk now for Tennessee and Bob Shoop.
2nd and 7. Blitz coming. Little out and up. Wide open. Touchdown Crosby.
And that's why you don't do the blitzing when you're changing guys back there. Blown assignment.
Jake Bentley hit him with the out and up. And Muschamp letting Casey Crosby hear about it because of the celebration penalty.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 3. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. That's number 3's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Touchdown is good.
What a play by Jake Bentley. Laid it right in there. And Crosby pretty much untouched into the end zone. A career-long reception for Crosby. And you get a feeling something special is brewing here in Columbia at the quarterbacking position. A true freshman who should still be in high school going through his senior year. Well, you got to shake what your mama gave you sometimes, folks. Back after this. Well, this college football season, stream every game live on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. Download it or visit watchespn.com today. What a scene here in Williams-Brice Stadium. Jake Bentley, true freshman quarterback, making his first SEC start and impressing. Tennessee faced with a moment of urgency and finality. And let's see if they can get another kickoff return touchdown. This is not Berry. This is Lamons. Josh Malone pushed out of bounds. And another player shaken up for the Volunteers.
During the return, holding. Receiving team number 44. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Take one more look at it. Boy, Tennessee could really use Berry. He was taken out of the game with a injury a moment ago. What happened
we
here?
talked about the blitz and the risk of miscommunication and problems with all the injuries back there. They did that. You get a miscommunication here. Watch these two guys take the same guy. Complete blown coverage. Again, injuries on the back end, new guys coming in, you run a blitz, not everybody on the same page. It costs you 7 points.
As a coach, what do? You just try and keep it simple? Is that the best thing? I mean, you end up changing your strategies and tactics a little bit, don't you?
Absolutely, but look how far deep. They've lost so many guys in the secondary. They're trying to make something happen, and you roll the dice there, and it doesn't work out for you. But yeah, you can be safer.
Dobbs, middle of the field, complete. Jennings still on his feet, and a flag thrown, multiple penalty flags thrown. As Jennings hangs on to it and blew a tire. He's going to go to the sideline and get his shoe back on. A 24-yard pickup, and another player shaken up on the field. Seen an inordinate amount of injuries here tonight, seemingly.
It's been a hard-hitting game.
Yeah.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 24. The previous play is done a further review.
That's against DJ Smith.
So they've got DJ Smith there with the hit to the head.
And he took the worst of it,
yeah,
too.
he took the worst of it. The other thing is I'm not so certain. He does lead with the helmet there, but you don't have any real, he's not launching, you know, no factor of him looking for that. It looks like he's trying to brace and use his arms and his shoulder, and you've got Jennings coming down. I'm not a fan of throwing a guy out when he doesn't really show you a factor.
Right.
If we want, you know, to limit hits to the head and give a personal foul for that, I have no problem with that. But a guy who is not targeting, not really trying to intentionally go after the head, right, I don't think should be kicked out of a game.
And,
but you look at that one. He lowers his head. You've got the receiver coming down, and that to me is what the replay officials are sort of looking at. You first look for factors. Did he launch? Did he jump? Did he try to lead with the crown of his head? And it looked like he put his arms up and tried to turn his shoulder a bit.
Still waiting on the ruling. Take one more look at it here. He'll come in from the left. Right there.
Yeah, that to me, that angle, and that's arms and shoulder, and his head is down as Jawan comes down.
There's no launch there.
No, there's no launch. There's no forearm lead. But he got him with the crown of the helmet, and there is this push to, you know, punish for leading with the crown of the helmet.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. The 15-yard penalty from the end of the catch. Number 24 has disqualified himself.
I'm not a fan of that call. That's a bang play.
Wow.
And you got a guy who's got a receiver coming from the air, coming down. You saw the hands go up. He tried to get the shoulder around. I understand the rule and what they're trying to do with it, but I'd like to see that change, where a guy who is not intentionally trying to make a hit to the helmet, give the 15-yard penalty, but don't kick a guy out of the game. That's a bang play. I'm not a fan of that one. And we're all for safety in the game.
1st and 10, all the way down to the 37. John Kelly back in the ball game. Rashad Benton making the tackle. Approaching 9 minutes to go. Tennessee down by a couple of scores in this ball game. Trying to keep pace with Florida in the big picture of things in the SEC East. Gators winning earlier today. They've got 4 wins in conference play, along with Kentucky.
This is Tennessee's season on the line right now.
2nd and 8. Dobbs, plenty of time, delivers a strike. Complete to Kroom for the first down. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, man, Wyoming might send another unbeaten team to the ranks of the beaten. It's a safety. Chase Appleby knocks it out of the back of the end zone.
I can't believe it. You talk about a way to win a game. Good job, Wyoming.
They're up 2, 1 minute to go.
Boise going to have to go in its bag of tricks now to come back in that one big time. 8.5 minutes to go here. Tennessee down 10. Play clock under 10. They give us to Kelly. Got a hit of steam. Kelly on the move. And he picks up another volunteer first down. Got a good lead block from Ethan Wolf, the tight end.
Well, good block from Wolf, and then the speed. And Kelly just had the burst to get to the edge, but no chance to get there without Wolf's great block on the edge.
Tennessee up quickly to the line of scrimmage, 1st and goal. After that 11-yard gain. Jennings split to the bottom of your screen. Big target at 6'3". Handoff is to Kelly between the tackles. And he stopped up for a gain of about 2 on the play. Rico Jones, the first guy to get there. Going to call it a 1-yard gain. He's 2nd and goal nonetheless.
The combination has shifted from Hurd and Dobbs to Kelly and Dobbs down here. It'll be a surprise if someone other than Dobbs and Kelly handles the football down here.
Jennings in motion. Dobbs into the end zone. Touchdown, Volunteers. A sure-handed grab by Jennings. And they're right back in it with 7:03 to go.
Well, Jennings has made some great catches this year, including a Hail Mary catch against Georgia. Put it up for him, let him go get it, found the soft spot. And that's the guy Dobbs is looking for the entire time. Huge play for Tennessee.
Jennings has been praised by Butch Jones for his leadership. Just a sophomore, one of those guys that has really stepped up, a native of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, with his 4th touchdown catch of the season. Low snap. And that was dangerously close to being blocked, and there's a flag on the play. Looked like Jamarcus King made contact with the kicker, Aaron Medley. But that was not a great snap. Good job by the holder, Riley Lovingwood. And it's a 3-point game. Jennings to the rescue again. Another cardiac finish for the Volunteers coming up. Well, it's a Halloween Monday Night Football matchup this week. Sam Bradford and the Vikings taking on Jay Cutler and the Bears at Soldier Field, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. It all starts Monday Night Countdown at 6, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Vikings suffering their first loss last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. And Tennessee with another close finish.
Tennessee fans are like, hey, this is old hat.
Yep. Just the way they handle their business.
4th quarter is typically what the Volunteers have dealt with this year. Comebacks.
Well, Tennessee right where they want to be. We talked about the 4-game stretch.
Dobbs dives. Ball is loose. Recovered in the end zone. Touchdown. Tennessee survives.
Dobbs back to throw. The pass is going to be caught by Tennessee. Tennessee wins. Caught it by Tennessee. Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch. Going to air it out, and he will. And it's intercepted. Game is over.
Comfortable in these kind of tight situations, Rod.
Plenty of time for them now. 7 minutes to go. The question now becomes, can their defense shut down South Carolina's rushing attack, which has been great in the second half?
Bentley going to be brought down and sacked. So the Tennessee defense makes a play on 1st down. Corey Vereen from his defensive end spot. Sack number 5.
Well, he was matched up with a running back, and that's a mismatch. He just overpowered him and made the sack. And you can't ask Turner to take on Vereen, who's 6'2", 250. That's a tall order for Turner.
And you talked about it, Dowdle not in the ball game right now. Saw him shaken up a little bit earlier. Loss of 5. Williams and the receiver screen. Check that, Edwards. Brian Edwards who has a touchdown catch from earlier.
Well,
7-yard pickup.
The last time Tennessee was in a third down situation, they ran a blitz and it cost them. Will they go back to the well, 3rd and 8? Will they try and get pressure on Bentley now, or will they play coverage? I would be more comfortable turning it over to my front four and Barnett and Vereen and not taking the chance on the back end.
Big play here. The 3 of 12 on 3rd downs. He's got time. Complete. What a play by Brian Edwards, who wrested the ball away from the defender, Emmanuel Mosley, for 12 yards.
Yeah, but they picked up the blitz. I mean, South Carolina just stoned the blitz that came in, and Bentley knew he had single coverage on the outside, made a good throw, a 50-50 ball that his guy was able to get, but it all started because they protected Bentley against the pressure that came.
Folks, that combination, Bentley to Edwards, a couple of true freshmen. Future building blocks here for South Carolina. Tennessee coming with pressure again. Turner on the carry. Got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. The clock running with 5:10 to go. Tennessee needs a stop here on defense.
For both coaching staffs, now it becomes an issue of being aware of clock management. How you run your 4-minute offense here. How you run your defense. When you use your timeouts.
Offensive coordinator Kurt Roper has drawn up a great game plan for the true freshman, but he gets swallowed up. Tried to escape, but still sacked. Barnett was there, along with a couple of other guys, including Mixon. 3rd down coming up. Well, last time they
brought
went
the
to
house.
Edwards, yeah.
Yeah, they brought the house, and Edwards beat the single coverage.
Clock running with 4:20 to go. Tennessee's potential hopes for an SEC East title on the line here. They need to win here to keep pace with Florida.
Looks like Tennessee is going to play coverage and not bring the blitz this time.
They're going to run it with Turner. So a safe call by South Carolina with just under 4 minutes to go. And that's going to give the Volunteers
First charge timeout, Tennessee.
a little bit of time
This
here
will be
as
a
they burn
30-second
one of their
timeout.
timeouts.
Well, that's a big stop for Tennessee. They've got plenty of timeouts. They're in good situation here. And there's Dobbs. He's getting ready to come out here.
Let's go back to the studio.
Oh, great game in Madison between unbeaten Nebraska and Wisconsin. Overtime, and Wisconsin on it. Wumboale to the corner. Touchdown. They missed the extra point. But Jonathan Vilma gives some love to Dakota Dixon for the game-saving play on 4th down.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Dakota Dixon, great job. Wisconsin gets the win.
The 4th unbeaten to be beat today.
It's that type of day.
So who are we taking out, partner? Baylor's gone. West Virginia.
It has been that type of day. From the 20-yard line, Josh Smith calls for the fair catch. One more look, Rod.
Well, we have our losers. We're taken out, right?
Big 12 is done.
And Boise State looks like they're out, right? Yep, they're gone too. He got 4 of them that went down today. We had 7 on the road. And
November is really when the fun starts, right? I mean, they remember November.
Oh, yeah. That's when you win it all, right? Or lose it all.
Well, a defining moment here for Joshua Dobbs again.
He's been there before.
He was 3 for 3 on his last drive for 48 yards. So he found a little bit of rhythm. All he's got to do is get them in field goal range.
And I think this empty formation is the one he's most comfortable with. He can see the field.
They fake the jet sweep to Kelly. That's in trouble, and it's picked off. Jamarcus King with the interception. His 2nd one.
Dobbs threw it late and threw it off his back foot. Didn't see King. He was trying to get it down the field to his receiver, Josh Smith. He did not see King come off of Malone on the other side. He was late with the throw.
And he knew it too. Remember, Tennessee 123rd in FBS in turnovers.
That is a tremendous play by King. That was not his coverage. He was to the outside, saw the ball in the air in the middle, and came off to make the play.
That's the first charge timeout.
South Carolina going to burn its first timeout here with 3:42 to go. So Butch Jones's defense got to come up with another stop. And they've got 2 timeouts remaining. South Carolina came into the game tonight 1-4 in SEC play. And they had a true freshman making his first conference start. And don't forget, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, the first rankings release of the college football playoff. As this is where the college football season really starts to get some teeth to it. See it exclusively on ESPN. Interesting to note that Rico Dowdle is back in the ball game at tailback. That second interception by King was huge. Dowdle maybe got a yard on that play. Let's go back to the interception.
Yeah, this is such a great play. He's here playing a deep third, and here's Smith. Smith is open. Dobbs takes too long. He doesn't throw it on time, and watch King come off. That's a late throw. Had he been decisive with it, probably had it, but a tremendous play by King to come off his coverage on the outside and make that play and get his second pick of the game.
Second down. Jake Bentley, true freshman, trying to close this game out. Hand it off to Dowdle again. They'll set up a third down and about 6 to go. Barnett making the tackle.
Second short timeout, Tennessee.
This will be a 30-second timeout called by Tennessee. And Josh Dobbs hoping to get another opportunity on offense. Well, tonight after Nebraska, Wisconsin, don't miss SportsCenter at Night with Nicole Briscoe and John Anderson. All the updates from Game 4 of the World Series, all the college football action, NBA, NHL, NFL, everything else from the world of sports, streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Go back to the hotel and watch the end of that Clemson-Florida State game. Meanwhile, in the SEC East, here's what it looks like.
Remember, Tennessee owns a tiebreaker over Florida, but a loss tonight would all but wipe out Tennessee's chances in the SEC East. And if that were to happen, the expectations for Tennessee on this season, the hopes and dreams that they had, their fans had, I mean, it's one more drive. It's 3rd and 7. This is huge for Tennessee and its entire season.
We've had some close calls. We documented it a few moments ago. 3rd and 7. Bentley complete. His tight end Hurst, Mr. Clutch. Nine-yard gain.
What a huge throw and catch.
Rod, that was Hurst's first catch of the night, and it comes at a great time for the Gamecocks.
It's the kind of play that might signal a change for South Carolina. You actually can see if they win this ball game, they have a shot at becoming a bowl-eligible team this year.
Well, this would be win number 4. Tennessee needs a play defensively. Clock working against them. And the scoreboard, 2:16 to go.
They're going to have to start thinking about their timeouts.
Timeout, Tennessee. That's their 3rd and final timeout. This will be a full timeout.
Let's go back to the studio.
And let's keep it in the SEC. Kerryon Johnson and Auburn putting up a bunch of points against Ole Miss. Auburn looks like it's going to get to 6-2 overall, 4-1 in conference play. And coming up next, Washington State unbeaten in Pac-12 play. At the Beavers right here on ESPN2. Kickoff 5 minutes away.
All right, back here, Butch Jones nervously pacing in a season that was supposed to be, quote-unquote, their year in the SEC East. Things had lined up perfectly. 4 good recruiting classes, talent that had matured and was ready to seize the opportunity. Coming off a bye week, Rod, and not what they had expected tonight.
Well, and they'd gotten through that difficult stretch. Those 4 weeks where they played 4 ranked teams back to back to back, including the Alabama beatdown. And the sense was this portion of the schedule, much easier. Even though they were banged up and had some players that wouldn't play tonight, the sense was get through this road trip and Tennessee would be okay. And then they would hope for LSU to knock off Florida and win the East. Right now, in this final 2-16, they're going to need some help and some big plays.
No timeouts remaining. 2nd and 8. Turner in the ball game at tailback for South Carolina. And Turner brought down after a gain of 2 by Kendall Vickers.
And if you're South Carolina, you are very deliberate here. You burn as much of this clock as possible. You get your play, you take your time, you stand around.
There's a look at...
No sense of urgency.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You want to bleed everything you can here.
So a quick look at Bob Bentley, the father of quarterback Jake Bentley, running backs coach at South Carolina. And boy, what a story that's really turning into here in Columbia.
It's like Muschamp may run this down and then use a timeout and get as much of the clock as he can, and he'll have a 3rd down, and then if they don't pick up the 1st down, he'll have a 4th down where he could, you know, burn some more clock. And if you're Tennessee, you're thinking maybe you get the ball back with less than a minute and no timeouts, and do you have the ability to make plays? And we've seen them do a Hail Mary against Georgia and get it done. But right now, everything Tennessee was hoping for and playing for this season is hanging in the balance.
And the question begs, what do you do when it comes to a 4th down situation if you're Volunteers? You coming after it? You trying to make a play? Are you waiting that long? What's the thought process defensively?
I think the first question is what does Muschamp do? If they don't get this 3rd down, I suspect Muschamp will not kick a field goal. I think he'll just run a play to burn more clock and play it from that point of view, as opposed to trying to kick a field goal, have the risk of a block and that sort of thing here. And I don't think right now in this situation, I don't think he throws it. You would be helping Tennessee if you threw an incomplete pass here.
1:31 to go. Dowdle in the backfield. Williams in motion. Edwards in motion as well. And they run it to Dowdle right on field goal range. Wow. And let's go down to Quint. Quint?
Here's the decision right now. You bring out the punter. I don't think Elliott Fry's an option here as a field goal kicker. We've seen crazy things happen if you bring the punter out. The key is getting the ball off 2 seconds from snap to kick. Will Muschamp's first night game, and he's got some time here to ponder this decision.
Well, I agree with you, Q. I think any kind of a kick is a risk here. It wouldn't surprise me if he ran a play on 4th down. And if he doesn't run a play, I think he's going to punt it. I don't think there's any way he tries a field goal here at this point. It doesn't give you that much other than, you know, it negates a tying field goal. But the risk is far too great, in my view, to try a field goal at this point.
See what he decides to do as they burn their final timeout. Let's go back to Quint.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you punt this ball out the back of the end zone, and you've picked up 15 yards in the process. But you'd love for the punter to hang it up really high and maybe have the ball kick around a little and let more time go off the clock. But you go back a year ago, Michigan State, we've seen strange things happen. A lot of pressure on the long snapper here. The punter's got to catch the ball, and 2 seconds. You want to get that ball off your foot in under 2 seconds.
Yeah, whether it's a punt or even a field goal. We saw what happened last year in Georgia Tech, Florida State. Blocked field goal, run back for a touchdown the other way.
Hey, we saw it in Michigan State last year, too.
Nose of the ball on the 35. Don't forget, coming up immediately after this, it's Washington State against Oregon State. Pac-12 action. Washington State Cougars undefeated conference play. So here we go, 4th and 3, and Jake Bentley coming back onto the field.
Yeah, I think this is the right call. I would not kick it. I would not punt it. I'd run a play, burn some clock. My defense has played well. If I'm Muschamp, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's the right way to go.
First in motion. Now sets to the left. Play clock at 5.
Okay, he's trying to make him jump, I guess.
Okay, they're going to take a flag here.
Huh. So I guess
Now
he's
they
going to
punt?
take the flag, and now he's going to punt it.
Okay. Tennessee, it's never really over.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Drew Williams, the long snapper. Snap it back to Sean Kelly.
Tennessee will have one last chance after this.
Yeah, nobody back to retrieve this punt.
Tennessee has to be careful of not roughing the kicker.
We got rid of it in time. And it's going to work out pretty well here. Down to the 14-yard line for Tennessee. So no timeouts remaining. Josh Dobbs coming one more time.
Remember, the clock will stop temporarily when you get a first down. It will stop when you get out of bounds. So you've got 35 seconds. Tennessee probably needs to reach about the 35-yard line of South Carolina to have a realistic possibility of a field goal that could tie the ball game.
You got to think they believe that they can do it, because they've done it already this year a couple of times. Dobbs into traffic. Wow, what a catch by Jennings. Keeping hope alive. He worked against Fenton, and they get the first down on the 23-yard catch.
And every throw should go to Jennings.
And they spike it to stop the clock with 25 seconds to go.
He is their most dynamic player. He is the guy that can go up and get it. He has the Hail Mary to his credit this season. And that last catch, fantastic. Look at him stay with that.
Trying to get into field goal range for a potential game-tying field goal. Dobbs surveys, wide open. Great play for the Vols, out of bounds at the 45. It's Malone with 18 seconds to go. So maybe two more plays here and a field goal. There's a look at the field goal range line. Still about 17 yards away.
I think if they get 10, they at least have the possibility.
Trying to get Aaron Medley in range. Dobbs caught. Incomplete now. They're saying it's dropped by Wolf. Looked like he had it. Then it was jarred loose. Good hit by Jamarcus King. There's a look at Medley. In his career, he's 0 for 4 from over 50 yards.
Well, look, they're moving Jennings to the short side of the field, so he's closer. Here he is up here. They want him on the short side of the field and give him a chance to make a play.
Dobbs looking the other way, taking a lot of time.
Too much time.
He's got to get out of bounds. Steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line with 5 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's not the play you needed. You needed to get rid of it and give Jennings a chance.
But this is looking like a 57 or so yard field goal.
It is.
Aaron Medley for the tie. Okay, they mark it a little bit further back, so it's a 58-yard field goal attempt.
Wow, this is going to take everything he has. Tennessee's season hanging in the balance here.
Career long, Bentley for the tie. No way. Gamecocks win it. Well, this time it wasn't to be for Tennessee. And Will Muschamp with his second conference win.
Well, you're asking for a bit too much from 58. They needed another 7 to 10 yards to have a shot at it. They didn't get that on the previous play. And Tennessee's season, one that had so many hopes and expectations, looking really, really sad now. Really sad. The SEC East doesn't look like it belongs to Tennessee any longer.
Let's go down to Quinn.
Coach, you had a feeling this would be a special night. How do you best describe this environment?
Well, just look at it. Turn that camera and show all them folks up there.
Oh, we have been doing that, Coach.
They made a difference. They made a difference tonight. Our players played fantastic against a very good Tennessee football team.
You talked about the importance of confidence and belief. What does this mean in that direction?
They've kept fighting. They've kept believing. Our fan base has been unbelievably positive about everything we're trying to do. And we haven't arrived. This is a good win for us. We needed this.
Congratulations, Coach.
Behind a true freshman quarterback who should still be celebrating his senior year in high school. Gamecocks win it by 3. Coming up next, college football continues. Washington State takes on Oregon State. For Rod Gilmore and Quint Kesnick, I'm Mark Jones. Thanks for watching, everybody. What a night. Let's send it back to Chris Hassel in the studio.